Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to IQ Chess. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And welcome to the fourth episode of the 1F4 Birds Opening Masterclass. And this video, in my opinion, is honestly the most important because we are finally going to tackle the dreaded Sums Gambit. This is the most refuting variation against the Birds Opening. And if you are someone who personally struggles with the Birds Opening, this is the line for you. So this is kind of a win-win for both people looking to play with the black and the white pieces. So the game begins with the move F4 and E5, and this position is called as the From's Gambit, spelled F-R-O-M''S. Quickly before getting into the video, if you have not watched the previous 3 episodes, we have 3 more videos. I will link the playlist down in the description and the pinned comment below. Check it out, because I think it covers the most crucial elements of it, and this is the most important of it. Also, a huge shout out to Derek's light friend. He commented on my previous video saying your Birds Opening series is incredible. You don't just teach the moves, the theory is explained as well. Thank you. So thank you so much, buddy. And also to Zelua or Zelua, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm really sorry for taking concern on my health. I am much better now. So yeah, let's start. This variation, we have 2 main choices. I do believe that accepting this gambit is the best, because if black does not prove their advantage in the early game, they are going to suffer, because in fact they are going to be down a pawn. So, also an important thing, you need to memorize the moves in this variation. Just knowing the ideas and playing them, freestyling them will not help you. So unfortunately, if you are like a person who doesn't really enjoy memorizing moves, I'm really sorry. I really don't know any other way to put this. Let's start. F takes e4 is the accepted variation, and here black goes for the move d6. There's also a line that goes knight to c6. We will tackle it later on. Here, I will show you about 12 moves of theory for every single variation. I am going much more deep because this is really important. Again, we are going to play the move e takes on d6, and we reach this position after bishop takes. And from here on, we have only moves basically. The move we will play is knight to f3, and here the opening branches out into 3 main variations. We have the Lazar variation that goes g5. We have the main line that goes knight to f6, and also this really weird move bishop to g4, which is not really that great, but it's also played a lot. So first we will look at the Lazar variation with the move g5. What is black trying to do? Black is trying to undermine our knight, kick it out, and then because we have played this move f4, our king side is really weak. So black would like to exploit it with the move queen to h4 check and sacrifice on g3 with a checkmate. So for that reason, we are going to play the move g3, anticipating the move g4, because now we can put our knight on h4, basically defended from the queen with our pawn. Here, again, there are 2 main moves. First, we will look at knight to e7, which is the main line. We here will play the move d4. This move is very important, because after black plays the move knight to g6 and we capture them, black captures with the h pawn. This is the difference. Black will take it with the h pawn, because now black has opened their rook, and black is simply threatening to win our pawn, because if you take back, bishop takes on g3 will come with a check, and it's a fork, and we will lose our rook. So here, after this h takes, we will play this move queen to d3, defending our pawn with our queen. So that was this variation. From here on, the play might continue in various paths. I'll just show a sample line. Knight to c6 is what is usually played. We can play the move c3, something like bishop to e6. Get this knight out. We would like to put it somewhere nice, like the e4 square. Get the bishop out. Get this bishop out. and then castle long, or if you feel brave enough, you can also castle short if you want to do it. So that was the specific line. Let's come back to this position, and black does not play the move knight to e7 and instead goes for bishop to e7. This is also a line that is played quite frequently, and here we are going to play this move knight to g2. We cannot wait around because black will simply capture us and we cannot take them back because it's going to be checkmate. Now, h5, black would like to push on forward and undermine our quayside because remember, after black plays h5, we cannot really take them back on g3. For that reason, we are going to play the move d4 once again. h4 and then play this really crucial move bishop to f4. This idea of bishop to f4 and queen to d3 in the previous variations are really important because let us say you play something like knight to c3. Then black will capture you and you cannot take them back because your pawn is pinned the rook. So for that reason, we will play the move bishop to f4, defending the pawn with the bishop. Something like h3 is usually played. We get rid of this knight e3, and after something like knight to f6, play knight to c3, play queen d3, castle on the queen side, get this knight out and maybe try to exchange it with this bishop if you possibly you can do it, or when this bishop comes out, you can try and get that bishop, and then play the move e3, get this bishop out, and from that point onwards, you will have a good game. So that was the full variation after the Lazar variation with g5. But black has some choices. Black can also play this knight to f6 line, and here we will keep it as simple as possible. e3, simply defending our knight preemptively with our queen, something like knight to c6, bishop to e2, castles, and here we have a really nice idea. You could avoid this idea if you don't like it. I'm going to show it to you just in case. The theoretical move in this position, the engine recommendation is the move knight to a3. Now this move straight up looks weird because you're just giving up a knight and letting black damage your pawn structure. However, capturing is not really a good idea because we will get an open file and more dynamic play, and meanwhile we are catching up on development and still we are up a pawn. So for that reason, capturing our knight is not a good idea. So what else can black do? Something like queen to e7. Now black is in fact threatening to take us. We can play the move knight to c4. The whole point of this maneuver is that our knight is not really happy in this square because from c3 it has no future. So we are putting it on c4 and basically trying to exchange with this bishop. Something like bishop to e6, knight takes d6, queen takes d6, b3. Both players develop their rooks and we can castle. And we reach this position. This is not really that odd. This is kind of usual. We can also, if you want, just take this knight deliberately and then open the black's king side if you feel like so. So this is a variation that you can play. If you don't want to play this whole knight to c3 shenanigan, you can also just castle here right away and then play b3, bishop out, and then knight to c3 if you want to. It's a choice. But yeah, I like to play the move knight to a3. Now let's come back all the way here. Here we also have this move, bishop to g4, and it is not a good move. And do not, I repeat, do not play this move of h3. It might be tempting, however, it's checkmate in one if you do so. Same thing applies for the Lazar variation as well. Do not play the move h3, trying to prevent h4, because bishop to g3 will be a simple mate in one blunder. So for that reason, after this move of bishop to g4, we will again play this move of e3, simply defending the knight with our queen, and then after some natural development, bishop out, knight to c3, castles, we can again go for this knight to a3 idea. Again, simply try to bring our knight to the c4 square and exchanging this bishop deliberately. So, Let's come back. There's also one final transposing variation, and this variation goes knight to c3. This is very rarely played. However, I'll just go over it briefly. We can play the move knight to c3 here and just go for a simple development. d4, castles, bishop to g5, something like h6, exchange the knight, and then play e3, defend the pawn, and just bring the bishop out. Castle on the queen side or the king side as you wish. I recommend the queen side because you can have some open lines. Put the rook on the D and F files, or maybe E and F files, and just pressure on the king side. So that was this whole variation with the accepted line. Now we are going to come back a bit far, because in this position black also can play this move of knight to c6. This is called as the Slutter Gambit. This is also a rarely played line, not seen as much. However, it could be trappy. It's really trappy because black is basically tempting us to play the move of d4. However, this move is really bad for us because black has queen to h4 check, and after g3, black will in fact win this pawn. And this, we really don't want it in this situation because again, after knight takes, this pawn is all suddenly weak. We have to play the move king d1 to defend this pawn, and then we have a whole nuisance of situation which we could have simply avoided. So for that reason, here the move we'll play is simply knight to f3, ignore black's threat, and then wait. Black can play the move d6 and then transpose. That's what I meant before when I said transposing variations. This position could occur in two ways. Either with knight to c3 first, followed by d6 and the bishop takes, or d6, bishop takes, d6, bishop takes, and then knight to c6. So this is just transposing. You can look at the previous variation we just discussed, so this is nothing new for us. However, black can also play the move of g5 in this position, and this is a bit unique. Here, we can play the move d4 and or the move h3, because now there is no bishop, there is no threat. Something like d6, play e4, ignore them completely, d takes, bishop to b5. We have simple developing moves, g4 threatening our knight, you can just capture it, and something like knight to e7, play the move g5, defend our pawn, bishop to g4, and just d3, we are defending our pawn, get this knight out, get the queen out, castle on the queen side, and we have a dynamic and open game. Also, coming back here, black can play another move, that is f6, trying to take this way and then basically get the knight out. Here, we are not going to take them, and rather play the move b4, taking the whole center. And after black captures, we can take the pawn back, but I really enjoy the move d5 in this position. And here we have a huge exchange of pieces with e4, d takes c6, e takes f3, c takes e7 check, bishop takes, e takes, queen h4 check, something like g3, queen to h5, and simple queen to e2 check, knight to e7, and then I'm leaving you here because there's nothing much. Black will simply try to castle, and we'll do the same. We'll just put the bishop out and just castle as fast as possible. And this is sort of a drawish line because the pieces are falling off. It's very symmetrical. The only difference is that we have a pawn. However, I don't really think we can hold on to the pawn for long because black is castling before us. So they will have enough pressure on us that this pawn won't really be felt. So this is a line that I really enjoyed playing. So that basically summarizes all the variations which follows this e takes on f5. What else can happen? Rejecting this gambit is not a choice. Playing something like d3, I don't really think makes any sense because it is just why? Exactly why are you playing that? So rather, if you don't really like these variations I showed you in this video, the next best thing that you can do is to play the move e4, entering into a king's gambit. Now, unfortunately, the king's gambit is way beyond the scope of this specific video. In the past, I did make a video on a specific variation called as the Muzio Gambit that goes index on f4, knight f3, g5, bishop c4, g4, and we can simply castle here, gambit, give a whole knight, and then queen takes f3 to get this supercharged attack on the king side. However, I will link this video for in the description below if you would like to see it. But this might not happen. In fact, black could choose to decline our gambit with something like the fat bear counter gambit, and you really need to know what you're doing in this position, because if you don't know, you're gonna die. As simple as that. So you have a choice. You can either study the Frum's gambit, the lines I showed you, or look up some really great videos are out there. Videos by Chess Talk, Hikaru, and Chess Giant that goes over to King's Gambit. You can go through those videos and get yourself a couple of lines. In the future, I will make a whole series on the King's Gambit as well, so stay tuned for that. But for now, this is the whole understanding behind this variation of the Frum's Gambit with e4, f4, and e5 also. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you have enjoyed it so far, I know it was very too theoretical and so much more deeper than my usual videos. Or I didn't really feel like just saying some random garbage and leaving, because this is quite toxic for us. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We are very, very, very close to 400 subscribers. We are at 397 at the time of recording. So your like and your support would mean a lot. Also, if you have any chess playing friends or groups, and if you enjoyed the video, share it with them. Why not spread knowledge? And yeah, also check out my channel for other videos and shorts. So yeah, till the next video, stay tuned. Bye. I will try to bring some master and grandmaster game in the future, so wait for it. Also, all the variations will be found in the description below. You can find it and you can import it into any engine, chess.com, Leeches, Lucas, whatever you use, and then analyze it yourself. So yeah, bye bye.